The Lefties are back for 2024 and they are most certainly still losing it. Sky News All Star Rita Panahi exposes Lefties from trans activists to climate cultists who are attracting attention for all the wrong reasons. The climate cultists kicked off the year by making a huge statement. Climate groups like Just Stop Oil often target priceless art, but this time they took it a step further, somehow getting through the tight security at the Louvre to successfully throw soup at the Mona Lisa.
We've got so much to get through today. The Lefties have been out of control in 2024. Let's start with these climate cultists targeting the Mona Lisa. How are these climate catastrophist lunatics getting so close to masterpieces armed with paint, hammers, soup in that particular instance? Of course, the artwork was protected, but where is security? Why are bystanders doing nothing? I can tell you, I would not just be standing around watching that.
Al Gore is a lefty that has been losing it over climate for decades. And it seems as though he's not slowing down, says Sky News All-Star James McPherson.
The more outrageous the demands of the climate catastrophists, the more hysterical their claims need to be to try to convince us to go along with it. Have a listen to Al Gore at the World Economic Forum. I mean, if you want hysterical, you can't get better than Al Gore.
And all the greenhouse gas pollution would be below you. We're still putting 162 million tons into it every single day. And the accumulated amount is now trapping as much extra heat as would be released by 600,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every single day on the Earth. That's what's boiling the oceans, creating these atmospheric rivers and the rain bombs and sucking the moisture out of the land and creating the droughts and melting the ice and raising the sea level and causing these waves of climate refugees predicted to reach 1 billion in this century. Look at the xenophobia and political authoritarian trends that have come from just a few million refugees. What about 1 billion? We would lose our capacity for self-governance on this world.
See, until I saw that, I didn't realise what my kids were talking about today when they said, "Dad, it's so hot, can we put the aircon on?" I said, "It's not that hot." They said, it feels like 600,000 Hiroshima bombs have gone off, Dad. I stepped outside and I thought, you're right, it does feel like that.
It is.
Can you believe this guy?
Well, I love that he says that the ocean is boiling. If only they would boil the sharks along with them so they wouldn't be a danger to us along the coast. Let's not forget, Al Gore in 2006,
yes,
when he released his documentary, An Inconvenient Truth, said, I think it was at Cannes Film Festival, quote, "Unless dramatic measures to reduce greenhouse gases are taken within the next 10 years, the world will reach a point of no return." That was 2016 we hit that. We're still here.
He said
Still trying to return.
He said in 2013 there would be no ice at the North Pole. So clearly that was wrong as well. So
I
he's
can't
got a pretty
believe
bad
he's still
record.
showing his face. You'd think you'd just, after that, you'd just be like, oh, okay.
But I love the fact he ends that speech talking about xenophobia, implying that if you don't go along with this, it's because you've got latent racism, and that's the real problem. And as I said, the more outrageous the demands, the more hysterical the claims.
Just say yes to illegal migrants by the millions pouring into your country. It's what we've got to do to save the planet.
And the climate cultists have found a new target, the cruise industry. They want to stop hardworking families and retirees from having a trip of a lifetime.
The latest people in the what's the target? The latest people that climate catastrophists are demonising are retirees wanting to go on their, cruise of a lifetime. The Royal Caribbean's icon of the seas. Check out this cruise ship. It's the largest cruise ship in the world. 20 decks, 6 water slides, 7 pools, an ice skating rink on this ship, 40 restaurants. It takes 7,600 passengers, but environmentalists have described it as a floating carbon factory. documentary and said that all these retirees taking their once-in-a-lifetime cruise are destroying the planet. So you can't even be an old person going on a cruise anymore without being in the sights. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Environmental catastrophists.
But see, again, if government was serious, why wouldn't they shut down these industries? We've got a planet to save. Why don't you go after these kind of industries instead of going after the everyday person and saying, you, with your tiny emission count, you're the one that we're putting the screws in. You're the one that has to change everything about your life, be poor, and just suck it up.
Trudeau can fly all around the world on his private jet, but Grandma can't go on her cruise because that's going to destroy the planet.
I know, and the irony here is that the cruise liner, Royal Caribbean, has powered this thing with liquid natural gas, which has lower emissions than using diesel or any other kind of fuel, right? So they're still not happy, and that's the point. They will never be happy until they've sucked every little bit of joy out of our lives. But the activists claim that going on a cruise generates 8 times more carbon dioxide than going on holiday on land. How do they come to that next thing?
Do you have to drive an EV?
I know,
if it's a holiday on land.
They'll be telling us that if we pulled all of the cruise liners out of the sea, then it would stop the sea level rising because of the water displacement or something, right?
Exactly.
You've just saved several islands with
that
that
cruise
idea.
is like a 12-month cruise, so most people wouldn't go for a 12-month holiday on land. The cruise is quite different.
The start of the year hasn't only been big for climate crazies losing it. The toxic trans agenda also shows no signs of slowing down.
Now, here's another lefty losing it, a trans activist harassing a retail worker for internet clout. He demands, or I should say she demands, the bewildered employee supply tampons for men. I mean, this chick doesn't want pink packaging on her sanitary products.
All right, out here shopping for tampons, but they don't have the tampons for men in yet. I'm gonna ask. Hey, excuse me, sir. So I found your normal tampons, but I'm actually looking for tampons for men today. Where would those be at?
Let me see what you got.
I got these.
Okay.
But I want the ones for men, not those.
I don't see the word woman on here. I think these are the ones for men.
No, you see how it's all like pink and purple? I'm not trying to pay the pink tax on this. I just want normal tampons. You know, like the ones marketed for men.
For men?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just wish these narcissists would not harass retail workers and film them and share it on social media to try to shame them. It is just such ugly, ugly tactics.
And this lefty losing it was ecstatic when a child they were teaching came out as non-binary, which Rita Panahi described as creepy.
Now let's go to a teacher who is ecstatic that a student has come out as non-binary. Creepy much?
One of my students just came out to me.
And it seems the teaching profession is full of trans activists, with another teacher taking to social media to voice their confusion regarding what the children they are teaching should call them.
Now let's start with a preschool teacher who appears thoroughly confused, and no doubt the poor kids she's teaching will be just as mixed up as she is when she's through with them.
I am starting a new job on Monday, and it's a teaching job, so the kids are going to call me either Mr. or Mrs. Jamie. It depends on what I want, but I, as a non-binary being, I don't know what to pick. I feel like Mrs. would be easier for the kids, but Mr. makes me feel better, but I also kind of want to try mix, but I don't know if the kids can do that. I don't. And then what do they do when they ask me if I'm a boy or a girl? I'm not. I don't know.
Explain that it's young kids too.
It's young kids. My class is going to be 4-year-olds.
She claims she's not a boy or girl. She's teaching 4-year-olds. Good luck, kids.
And the original lefty losing it, Dylan Mulvaney, is back in a bizarre video where she's defending her fame whilst rolling around in a bed.
Let's start Lefties by checking in on trans activist and product ambassador Dylan Mulvaney.
I'm just looking at my clock. I think it's been a little longer than 15 minutes, darling. And seeing that I'm slating things out 2 to 3 years from now that will come out in 2 to 3 years, I think it might be a little bit longer. The longest 15 minutes of your life. Love you.
Okay, let's just move along at a rapid pace.
The BBC also hopped on the gender bandwagon, airing a feminist manifesto of lefties losing it, screaming into microphones.
Let's go to the BBC's Newsnight program and this powerful performance described as a feminist manifesto. Surely that's it. Please, no more. Please? That's the BBC, ladies and gentlemen. Your taxes at work, Britain.